Council meetings are long and boring. Wouldn't it be great if they were short and unboring? This is why I've invented the 5-minute meeting. All right, Ashland City Council meeting of September 18th. You know, the city administrator said we should change some things, and having the first reading of an ordinance and then the public input on the same day is a problem. We should have the public input one day and then have the reading of the ordinance at a later day. This is the way a lot of other people do it, and that's a problem we should look at. And then there was a proclamation, and I think this one said the proclamation, but she said, the mayor declares that October 16th through the 23rd is a home inventory and week, and we should all look at our stuff and then insure all of our stuff. And then they showed a video given to the city by the cabal of international insurance commissions. I don't know, it was a little weird. And then the airport commission came and gave a presentation. Our airport is called the Parker Sumner Field, and Airport Day was a huge success. 1,500 people came out this year. Some company is going to write a new master plan, and we had some firefighter planes and helicopters use the airport this year, and the airport plays its own way. One of two in the entire world, country, state, something like that, and they're working on landscaping and looking for future tourist promotion, and they want riparian restoration on the creeks nearby, and they would like more solar. And then the city lady said, we're talking about the water supply and demand update, and she said things are great. We have balanced the TID, which is water from like Hyatt Lake up there, and the tap, which is water from Talent, and the reservoir, which is our reservoir, and we got it balanced, and people should now stop watering their lawns. Stop it. And then the public forum. Oh, the public forum. Oh, there was a lady who said, for years I have asked the council to use their mics correctly, and they don't. Also, don't ask me to change seats. That's not the problem. It's your terrible mic usage skills that is the problem. And then regular guys, the crazy bald guy said, finally the fall prevention pamphlets are out, but the city attorney forbade me from visiting city hall offices because I am a nuisance and my research isn't appreciated. You serve the city of Ashlands, sirs and madams. And then crazy gray-haired guy, he said, can you imagine if I were the community planning director? And everyone is in a safety container. And remember old buses? They were great, and new buses are like New York taxi cabs. They are so fast. And then the consent agenda. Consent agenda. Approved. No one talked about any of that. It's done. Approved. It's just done. And then the transit triangle. Okay, transit triangle zoning, special zoning. So the city guy came and said, there's a zoning ordinance to reduce landscaping requirements, reduce parking requirements, allow 4-story buildings if builders promise to make smaller rental units, and make the first floor not so retail requirement, not 65%, but 35% retail. And there's a special map of the Ashland, Street, Siskiyou, and Tolman. And he said, this is a proposal, and then this guy said, hey, you keep saying the word FAR, what is FAR? And then the transit guy said, oh, it's a floor area requirement, so plot land requirements, requisitions don't consider percentages and present codes that conflict or codify with various other blah, blah, blah. So, and then this guy said, well, thanks, that really clarified things. It didn't. And then this one said, I'm worried about parking. What's up with parking? Is that going to be a problem? And the guy said, that's going to be great. And then this guy said, hey, can't people just build these cheap apartments and then later turn them into condos? And the guy said, no, they can't do that. And then this guy said, he goes, why don't we just make everything 4 or 5 stories tall? Why don't we do that? And the guy said, oh, that costs a lot of money to go that high, and everybody in the city hates that plan. He said, everyone thinks of this as a town, not a city. And I'm like, oh, that's actually pretty cool. This is a town, not a city. And then this guy said, well, why not make this? Why make this optional? And the guy said, we're trying to incentivize it, not mandate it. And then there was a public forum on just this stuff. And so one guy said, apodments are a thing in Seattle and San Francisco, so look out, because 6 bedrooms jammed into one apartment are on their way. And then another girl said, my dad owns land right there in the transit triangle, and we think they'll jam too many people in here where we have the land, and the more traffic is just asking for trouble. And then an older guy said, hey, how much money is being spent on this transit triangle plan? Because the more developers, because the rules are too high and no one's going to do it and it's too expensive, and to address them all. Address them all. Ooh, that's a bad reading on my part. No mall. There's no mall. And then the city guy said, he goes, look, it's optional. It's a start. I think it's worth trying, and it errs on the side of not working, but we're just going to give it a shot. I think it's worth a shot. Come on, give it a try. It's so soft. It's a soft entry. And then this guy said, this guy goes, let's wait till October 16th to talk about this more. And then wildfire ordinance. This is the second reading. Oh man, this meeting is a long one. So this means it came ratified today. It did actually, but okay. Oh, spoiler alert. So the fire guy said administrative rules on zoning named consideration vis-a-vis state forestry regulations 1015. He said a lot of words, and that didn't make any sense to me. And then they all said insurance companies say that these wildfire ordinances mean absolutely zero to them when they figure out how much they're insuring people for. It means nothing to them at all. And then the city guy said, as far as expenses go, every new building, Harry, we already got a guy going out to check on the all the houses and stuff, and then it almost costs zero for them to turn around and look at the trees and bushes and go, check, looks good. So they said that's super easy. And the counselors all said, we've been talking about this thing forever, and we feel pretty good about all the plants and everything's good. So they had like 4 versions of this, or variations, or little pieces, and then passed, unanimous, it all passed. And then open government, new city open government contract. So the city wants new software, and this guy goes, hey, what's your name? You're an accountant professor. What do you think of this new accounting software? And he goes, yeah, whatever, it's great. The next thing's more important than this, so come on, let's just get to it. And so it passed, and it didn't really talk about it. And so we're getting new software. Boy, I hope it's as good as that utility software that's going gangbusters. They discussed it so much they must And then the second reading of the Uber ordinance. There's public forum. One guy said, hey, I don't know how Uber works, but the taxi system, that's reliable. And then a lady said, I drive for Uber and Lyft, and thanks for this ordinance. And then another guy said, I'm a cab driver, and shuttle services at the hotel have been taking our business for a long time. And then one lady said, I'm disappointed in the lax safety rules. My cab company is covered by insurance. Rogue Uber drivers are everywhere already. And then one guy said, I'm a Crater Lake cab driver guy, and I think you guys are going to vote for this anyway. But just think about this. New York City has lots of gridlock, mostly Uber, and how do you monitor the driver's hours? I don't know. What about old people who don't have cell phones? See? And they voted 4-2 for Uber. Uber is a win, but let's see, who was it? This guy and this guy said no. But there you go. So it passed. And then the mayor said, hey, he goes, hey, I have a question for staff. And this guy goes, it's 10:30, no more questions. And he went, oh yeah, I forgot that's the rule. End of meeting. You're welcome. Oh, that was long.